Okay, Jason, hello everybody. Sorry we're late, but it's been a trial tonight. Jason, are you there? Can you hear me? Hello, Jason. Okay, well, Jason,
I
you hear me?
hear,
Okay, let me get Phil on here. It's been a trial tonight with the
I
platform.
hear you, but
Okay, I'm just going to back out and I'll send you another link. Can you hear me?
Hey, Jeff, are we live?
Well,
Yes.
I'm going to take us live. It's the damn thing that it said you have to add it again. And they do this to me all the time. I'm fixing to change things.
Okay.
But I'm going to bring Jason in. Let's see, get him up. Oh, come on. God dang it.
Hey, now watch the language there, buddy.
Who's cursing?
Jason. Now, I don't know. He's not.
Well, you two do it.
You know, Jeff, I didn't sign in the new link. I wonder if I should.
Every once in a while, it's a bunch of garbage. I'm going to take us live.
The
So
Hoarder's not on there. You and Jeff do
we
that.
are on here. We're live, I think.
Yeah, you guys do it.
Yeah, but
Okay,
know,
I'll get him.
I didn't. I signed on the old link. So
That's all right.
Okay.
Live.
All right. It looks like we're live, so I'm gonna get started with our spiel, Jeff. So we have a tough start on today's show, but let me remind folks that today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Treasure Talk guests and members belong solely to the guest and member only, not necessarily to Phil Myers, Myers, Jeff Bonin, or Myers Metal Detectors. And of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And I hope we're live, huh, Jeff?
Yeah, I think we are now. What happened, everybody, is the streaming app, every once in a while, y'all know how Facebook is. Facebook does stuff to you all the time. They never give you any information. And and I checked it this afternoon, everything was fine. Then all of a sudden you try to go live and you got to grant them permission. And that is a trial. That's a rigmarole to go through. So that's what happened. So hopefully we'll get Jason back on here in a minute. But Phil, we got stuff to talk about.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to say a big thank you. Let me see there. I got this card, in the mail today, and it was from our friend Russ. And he was thanking us for doing the Fisher Days. And that was just an awesome event. And I want to say thank you to Russ for coming out and doing that from Fisher Metal Detectors. And also thank you, Jeff. You and your wife came and helped out with that. And boy, was it hot, wasn't it?
It was hot.
It was. I was looking for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It was that hot.
I'd like to thank all the guests.
And I think Jason may be coming here.
Yes, and also Jocelyn just said to thank all the guests and members from Treasure Talk who showed up.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure we thank those, and thank you, Jocelyn, for helping out with it. It was just a fun event, wasn't it?
Fine.
Woo, was it hot?
It was a little warm.
But it was fun anyway. And do we have the quarter hoarder?
Well, there he is. Jason, can you hear us or can you see us?
I see him, but it looks like he's frozen.
I have all black. Oh, there he is.
But he might have to re-sign in.
He just did re-sign in.
Well,
I don't know. This is going to be. There
He's
must be
still
gremlins.
And yeah, the Gremlins are out tonight.
well, let's move
Okay,
on with the
Can
show.
can you hear it, Jason?
Well,
he's
No,
frozen.
you can't hear you. Move on.
Okay. So anyway, I just will, like I said,
Oh, he just
I
moved.
can
I wanted to say thank you to Russ from
hear
Fish and Metal Detectors.
I can only hear like every.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, we got some bad.
Bad connection.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
might have to sign out and re-sign in.
Oh,
Jason, can you, if you hear us, sign out and re-sign in? Because I don't think it's us.
Philip, Jesse said, please watch your language. Who was saying anything bad?
Oh, I don't know.
His
I don't
daughter
know.
was around.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Somebody said something about their daughter was in the room. I don't know who was.
I hope it wasn't
Oh.
my language. I hope not.
Well, all I said was "dang it." So, you know,
So anyway, we thanked Russ, and then as many of you guys know, I got my Anderson shirt on. So I did want to show the folks the new Anderson product for your sand scoop.
Yeah.
These are made out of aluminum, and this idea came on the Treasure Talk show because I was telling Ryan and boy, my screen just went crazy there for a second.
you guys got
Ryan and
stories on there?
that I needed a handle like that, made out of aluminum. It wouldn't be plastic and wouldn't break. And they came out with that, and they've got, it looks like 3 or 4 different colors here. And we have them in the shop now. If you want to purchase one, you just go to my website and check that out. Get one shipped to you. And as long as it's for the 1 3/8 inch handle, both Anderson or anything that size, it should work on it just fine.
Yes, I'm looking forward to getting mine.
Absolutely. They're going to be on the way tomorrow, Jeff. So you'll have yours. And I just wanted to tell everybody the shop's open this week from 10:30 to 3:30 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Well, Mike Mayo's coming in Saturday to get one.
Mike's coming in Saturday to get a handle. Yes, Mike. We still have plenty of the colors left, so stop in and grab it. It is awesome for you. There we go.
There you go, Jason. Can you hear us? Can you see us?
There we go.
I can hear you now. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. There's gremlins in the thing. The thing was already. It was all messed up, Jason.
There's Jason.
Well, you know how when Facebook can mess something up, they'll do it.
I'm just so glad it wasn't my fault because I'm usually the guy who messes this stuff up.
Well, we're not sure about that yet.
We're going to blame you, Jason.
That's fair. I don't care.
Yeah, we're not
Well,
quite
welcome.
sure who was to blame. But anyway, so it's show and tell week, and Phil got to show the handles. I want to show the shovel.
Yes.
Oh,
This is my new shovel, my spade, and it came from Excalibur. And Casey's been on the show. Phil stocks these in the shop. Now Casey did this special one up for me. It's got you probably won't be able to see it. I don't know, maybe you will if we can get it right. It's got Treasure Talk stamped in it,
Nice.
which you can do for, if y'all got YouTube channels or something in there. But Casey did this specially up for me in this blue for the Blue Spade Society that we have. I tell you what, this is a killer shovel. You've sold quite a few of them, hadn't you, Phil?
Yes, I've sold the longer ones too that are nice. I think they're 41 inches. And that size there, is that a 31 inch?
That's yes, 36.
36.
See, I am very unfamiliar with the 41 incher. It, I would have to climb up on it to dig a hole.
Did you get the rose
Okay.
purple in?
I'm short.
I haven't got Rose. I haven't got yours in yet. That order's on being made, I guess, right now.
Yeah,
So-
and see this, it's got a little offset handle on it,
Yes.
the D handle. It's great. So I had a good week with getting presents, by the way. And also, look what else I got.
You got the Digging Canuck mug. Sweet.
That's right. I got me a mug.
You should have probably got a wine glass though, Jeff.
I just drink that right out of the bottle. I don't need no glass. Just give me a straw. And days tonight,
Okay.
nights like tonight, it's a straw in a bottle.
Straw in the bottle. Okay. All right. Well, let's get started since we got Jason here because we've got a lot of questions. And Jason, your videos happen to be one of my favorites, if not the favorite, in metal detecting. I like the areas.
Thanks.
I like the areas you guys get to hunt. And right off the bat, we had this question, but I was going to ask you anyway about that lock that you just found, the triangle-shaped lock. Do you have that there?
I have it downstairs. I could have my wife bring it up if you want to see it.
Yeah, because that was if she can, but you don't have to make her. But
I'm going to text her. Well, oh, you never make your wife do anything, Phil.
No,
I'm going
I
to
don't.
ask
You
her.
need to learn that, Philip.
My
And
wife
you
just
can't,
said
even,
I
you
need to
can't
learn
even make them leave you alone.
to go detecting. Yeah.
I
Now
text.
you dated that around the 1600s, right?
Yeah, I actually got in contact with a museum, and they had a similar one. Theirs was like 1630s era, and they think that mine may have been made by the same artisan or like
Blacksmith.
somebody that he may have trained along the way.
Yeah, because
So, and I'm trying to get mine in a museum. I apologize. I'm hearing like a my own echo in the background, so I'm trying to muddle through.
that might be coming from if you've got Facebook open.
Yeah, I only have the YouTube, but if I don't, I can't hear you. So I'm trying to just muddle through.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm in talks with the museum now. I'm trying to get mine donated, which on the surface sounds really cool, but there's a lot of red tape when it comes to donating something to a museum. So I'm trying to get through these muddled waters just to give them this thing. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because that was a neat find. And what was the museum, the picture you've got of the other lock? Uh-oh, did we lose Jason?
He went away. I don't know what the deal is.
He's on mine.
Jason, if you're out there, buddy, just
Gone.
sign back in.
He's gone.
And maybe send him a
This
new.
one's going down in the annals, Philip.
Yeah, this one is. This is my favorite show. Anyway, for those of you who want to see the lock, look at Jason's last video, and you'll see it. They're hunting.
Tim Naylor's gone.
They're hunting up in, I guess, a 1600 or 1700s home site up in, I think, New Jersey. And Tim Naylor just said, there he's back. Tim Naylor said, the only thing you can make your wife do is get upset with you.
But she brought it. She brought it for me, Phil.
Oh,
You
there
were
we
a big
go.
time. You were a big time.
That is awesome. And
Yeah.
that picture you had on your video, they look identical or almost identical to that.
I agree. I mean, you know, I haven't been doing this as long as you guys, but we hunt a lot of colonial fields. We find a lot of colonial stuff every week. So I sort of, if I haven't found it, I've seen it before, you know, and I've never seen a lock shaped like this. So as soon as I saw it, I knew something really special was going on. So I reached out to a few people, and then the New York Met Museum, I spoke with their ironworks department. They had the same one, and this is the one they think it may have been made, like I said, by the same artisan in France or Spain, early to mid 1600s. Probably came over with, you know, an early settler,
Right.
and you know, just dispersed. And yeah, theirs looked almost identical, which is really strange because it's a unique shape, and all the lines and contours on theirs were the same.
Yeah, it all lined up. It looked to me like if I had to bet, I bet money it was made by the same person.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Yeah, because you know, you have to think about that time period. You didn't have some factories kicking those locks out. It was
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was blacksmith made, start to finish. And what's even more impressive about the blacksmith just making the lock, but he has to also do the mechanism, the key mechanism inside,
right.
which is just incredible to even think that someone has the know-how to do that before the Industrial Revolution, you know, just by hand.
By hand to make that.
Well,
And-
you know, a lot of people back then, they didn't have anything they had to lock up. You know, they didn't have anything.
Well, on the boat ride over here, when they came over to, you know, the New World back then, they would have a trunk on the ship. You know, people had money, and they would lock up jewelry. I mean, that boat ride might have been a month.
New Jersey.
So
Yeah.
they would lock up their stuff on the boat, and then when they get over here, their closest neighbor might be 30 miles away, so they might not need the lock then. But on
Yeah.
that boat ride, yeah, you got to protect your stuff.
Absolutely. That was important on that. And yeah, that was just such a cool find. The other find, now that's your latest video, isn't the one you found that lock on?
Yeah, I think that was last week's video.
Okay. And then you also found, I don't know if it was on that one or the one before, you found that infantry I button.
Oh yeah, that was the same property. That was an amazing button. If I call my wife to bring that up, she might shoot me dead. So I'm not going to call her again.
Yeah, I'm familiar with those buttons. And what did you date that one? Did you look in Albert's book and see?
Yeah, I looked in the Albert's book. I think it's around the Civil War period. It's a two-piece button. Again, I found a lot of infantry buttons, artillery buttons. I don't have a dragoon button yet. I'm waiting for that one. But most of the ones I find are gilded, like a gold color. This one was a nice silvery color, which, maybe they're not that rare, but it was the first one I found. Yeah. And I put that in a light lemon juice and distilled water bath, and it looks like it could have been made last week. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I have one exactly like that. The same beautiful look to it, same silver color, but it's a one piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a little older, and I dug that here in Tampa because it was Fort Brooke in the 1820s to 1870s. So you'll find a lot of that type of thing in that area, but most of it's been built on already. But that was a cool find.
Yeah, that house, we do a lot of colonial houses, colonial farms, and you always hope to have a good day, but sometimes we muddle through and my video might look like, man, we just are, find incredible things every week. And I'd like to think we do, but you got to keep in mind, you got 4 or 5 guys out there, 13 hours, and maybe 7 good things were found. So it looks like we're just like rock stars finding this stuff.
Right.
But it's a lot of time put in just for those few things. A lot of garbage, a lot of just walking. But this house was exceptional. We had more than our share of really cool things.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you that you just told me the 13 hours. When you go to a site like that, how many times do you go back to it? And how many hours do you put into a site like that?
Well, it's a tricky thing. And some people, think this is crazy because they want to go back a million times, and I get it. But you got to keep in mind that, we door knock on strangers' houses, which is awkward enough for a lot of homeowners. Right. And then when we say, hey, can me and my 5 friends all come on, it can be intimidating. So It's very rare we go back to the same house again, because by the time we left, as friendly as we might be, and we give them a lot of stuff and I try to make it fun and include them, it's still overwhelming. So usually the next week we're on to another site and we rarely return. And that's why in my videos, a lot of other guys that do what I do in this area, when they're recording, they're very careful not to show the house or any landmarks.
Right.
Where I know we're probably not going to go back. So if you have the cojones to go knock on the door again, well, good luck. I'm sure we missed stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you never find everything. This time of year where I'm at in Tampa, it's almost too hot to dirt hunt. That's why we head mostly to the beaches. But in the wintertime, I'll do lots where they've torn homes down that I have permission from the builders to do. And on those, they don't care what you're doing.
Yeah.
As long as you fill your holes, take your trash. So I'll hunt those over and over again. Go over the same lot, same little city lot 10 times. So I was just curious if you guys go back, but that makes a lot of sense.
And that's only our summer. Like the summer, believe it or not, like this is our worst time of year because we live and die with the colonial farm fields, and right now they're all planted.
Right.
So after the harvest, which is around October all the way to maybe the end of April, we're in the farm fields, and in the farm fields, we'll go back many times. We had some last year. We went back 7, 8, 9 times and pulled maybe 50, 60 large cents and old reals and pistarines and all that stuff. But on a house in the summer, it's usually one and done, and we were on to the next one.
Oh, okay. So the farm fields you go back over and over again. Okay.
If they're productive.
And the thing too, with a house, you're dealing with a much smaller space to hunt. In a field, you've got a very large area, so it can support going back 3, 4, 5 times maybe.
Yeah. And a lot of the houses we do now were houses that we did the surrounding fields in the winter. You establish a relationship with the property owner. And then in the summer, we go back and do his house because they already know us.
Right. They're familiar with you.
Yeah.
Now,
So, we invest a lot of time talking with the homeowner, making them at ease, inviting them out. I include them a lot. Their kids might come out and join us. I don't show all that stuff, but all that goes into it because you want them to be comfortable with you, because it was nice enough to them to open their property to you and all your friends all day. You got camera gear. It's a big production, and you want them to not feel intimidated or, knock on wood, ask you to leave.
right.
And we always hope for that. Come back anytime. So we try to make sure that, we treat them well.
And do you often give them finds that that you like, or how do you work that out?
Well, believe it or not, most people don't want the stuff we find. If they do want something, yeah, we give it to them. Most of the people, believe it or not, just aren't interested. They want to see it because they're curious. But you know how it is when you pull something out of the ground, it's filthy dirty. It's like you can't even make it out. And some of them just can't see the beauty or care about a lot of this stuff.
Right.
Like, as cool as the lock was, when I found it, I didn't know it was 1600s. I thought it was a padlock. This could have been from the 1880s for all I knew, and just wasn't familiar with the design. And actually, this house we were at, the guy who gave us permission, we were there about 2 hours, and he said, "All right, guys, I'm leaving. I'm driving to New Hampshire," which is like a 7-hour drive. He said, "Have fun," and he just left. So we just kind of had to run to the place, and we just kind of stayed till dark.
Nice. Okay, well, we had a question off of Facebook. Mike Mayo says, talk about Doug's coin he found.
I guess he means that the Pistorine he found. Again, same house. Doug found this beautiful Carlos the third, I think, 2 real in just amazing condition. I think I even put it on my Facebook, and I very rarely go on Facebook. It looked like it was made last week, and it was gorgeous. The whole thing. He had never found a 2 real before. The larger reals are really tough. We find a lot of halves and a lot of 1s, but 2s and bigger, just not real common for us. So I was super stoked for Doug. Not only did he get one, but he got one in just amazing shape, and he was absolutely elated. I did this house. The video with the lock was actually a 2-part video because we found so much stuff. Even when I edited it and condensed it down, it was almost an hour. And I try to keep my videos under a half an hour, which is still really long. But, I feel like I'm jipping people if I just stop it at like 10 minutes. So I give you like a whole half-hour episode. And if you want to fast forward, you fast forward. But that's what I like putting out.
Yeah, so the half-hour video was actually how many hours of hunting?
Well, it was an hour total video. I broke it into 2, and we got there about 8:30 in the morning and stayed till about 8:30 at night. So that was about 12 hours. And that day, it kept pouring rain. So we did run back to the cars for like 20 minutes, and then it would stop. We'd go back out. So that may have only been about 10 hours of actual hunting time.
Okay, and of course, people are asking if you have any bananas.
On me, no.
So,
But
go ahead,
I do eat a banana every day at home, and I always bring 2 with me when I go digging. I bury the first one, and usually I eat the second one.
And tell the people why you do that.
I'm just very superstitious. Years ago, I was in the woods, and I brought a banana because my hands were filthy. I didn't want to eat a sandwich and have dirt all over it.
Right.
So banana's nice. You can peel it. And as much as I don't like the litter, I figured, well, it's a banana peel. If I bury it, it's only going to be fertilizer. So I buried the peel in the ground. And then my next find was a seeded quarter. And then the next find after that was a seeded quarter. So I thought, oh, well, maybe the dirt was so happy I gave something to it. It gave something back to me. So now I bury a banana every place we go, all the time, because, hey, even if it's goofy, why change it if it's working?
Absolutely. Superstition. That's cool. All right. Well, I guess I better get started. Now, that was some of my questions I had, but let me get started on the list of questions we have here. Real quick, I know some of the people already know, but give everybody a quick rundown of how you got the name Hoarder, how you came up with that.
Well, my wife kind of named me that when I first got a machine. The very first coin I found was one of those bicentennial quarters with a little drummer boy on it. And it might just be a clad coin, but when you first start in this hobby, it's everything you find is fascinating. You're just so excited that it's almost like magical that this machine can find these things under the ground. So I brought that drummer boy quarter home, and I was showing her, and I was all stoked, and she kind of made a reference like, "What are you going to be? Some sort of a quarter hoarder?" And I just thought it was really catchy. So I said, "Oh well, that's what I'm going to go with." I didn't want to have. I like things that rhyme. I like things people can remember. And, with YouTube, even more so today, but back then there wasn't as many channels when I started. But even today, there's so many channels now that if your name isn't distinct and stands out, you're hurting yourself from the beginning. So something catchy, something people are going to remember. And I thought it was fun. It's fun to say. It's easy to remember. And it's a little different.
Well, one thing I have to interject here that I admire about the way you run your channel, Jason, there's an awful lot of them, and a good friend of ours did a live stream on it with all this clickbait stuff that they put out there. Cops called, murder weapon found.
Yeah,
There's
I see
nothing
that.
of the sort, and just to get people to click on it, you don't do that. You're true to yourself. You're true to the hobby, and people watch your videos because of you and how you go about it. So there's no clickbait involved. And I think most of the people that really enjoy this hobby, they find that quite refreshing, I think.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, I run my channel in a strange way, for a YouTuber. If you watch my videos, I never ask anyone to like or comment or share. I don't ask anything of the audience, and I don't want to mislead anybody. It is what it is. And if you like it, you're going to come back. If you enjoy it, you're going to subscribe. I don't have to tell you to do that. If you don't like it, you'll move on, and that's fine. I'm in it for the fun. I love hanging out with my buddies. I love finding the stuff. And I do love capturing it and the process of making the video. But I'm not trying to trick anybody. I'm not trying to be the next YouTube big giant thing. I just enjoy it, and I put it out. And if they like it, that's great. And if you don't, if it's not your thing, then that's fine too.
Well, everybody that watches your videos with all your buddies, with Dog Tag Doug and Nickel Nibbler and all those guys that you hunt with regularly, you can see you guys generally like each other and you have a good time, and you're happy when your buddy finds a good find. You're not jealous or this and that and the other thing. So that comes through as well.
Yeah, every week. And I told all the guys, we'll go out and maybe last week, let's say I had a great day and found 10 things, and maybe Doug found nothing. And he'll never be upset. He'll always be happy for me. And then the next week, maybe he finds the 10 things and I find nothing. And I'm happy for him. I say, Doug, as long as we're finding it, the group, who cares? And that's what I love about it too, is, people, 3-4 months down the line don't remember, Doug found that great thing, or PA Pirate Paul found this. They remember that we found it. And I like that because we go out as a group, we find it as a group, we leave as a group. And I like that. At the end of the day, we try to do it all together, and we do. We all get along. And I like to think that comes through. My videos are a little long because I try to capture not just hear the beeps, but the interaction between us, because that's what makes it fun and engaging. And to me, that's what separates it. Every YouTube detecting channel finds good stuff, but you want to invest in the person, and I always try to get that personality in there. That's why if one of us finds something, as soon as you find it, you don't touch it, you put it in the ground, don't even look at it, and call everybody over, and then we'll look at it together, because I like the dialogue of everyone looking at it. What is it? Trying to make guesses, maybe ribbing each other. That's the real magic. The find is almost secondary.
Yeah, that's the way it is with, my two buddies, John David and Tim Naylor. Of course, Tim Naylor, I call him Low Tide Tim, the Mumbles man, because when, he gets his coilover stuff that nobody else is ever going to get their coilover, and he finds some good stuff, and he just gives us the mumbles, you know. And he finds it, and he's like, "Hey, look what I got!" You go, you know, but we're happy for him.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, of course.
absolutely.
He is my brother from another mother. Both of them are, as is Phil. And you know, when like Phil and I hunt, Phil's out there in, you know, in the water that I'm unfamiliar with.
It's
You
just
know,
a little
because I don't
deep.
have gills. You know, and he finds good stuff, and well, I found some good stuff too. But you know, we're generally happy for each other when we find it.
Yeah, you should be, because it's going to come around when you're going to have the good day, and you want your buddies to be happy for you. You don't want them to be jealous, and you know
Yeah.
that ruins your day. And you know, if I have an exceptional day, I know that deep down inside they're a little jealous because they didn't have a good day. So I never like to gloat, but I want them to be happy for me because I know I'm happy for them. And you know, I just enjoy finding the stuff regardless of who it was. I enjoy seeing things that I've never seen before, and I love showing things to the people at home that maybe they never seen before.
Yeah,
So
well, my good day needs to come soon.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to do a quick shout out to a friend, Ron Lord. He's also known as the Legend. Hey, Ron, how you doing, buddy?
hey, Ron.
And he's in our metal detecting clubs. It's the first time I saw him here on the show, so I know he starts detecting early in the morning, so it's probably late for him now. But hey, Ron, how you doing, buddy? All right, so let me keep going on my list here. And are you still using the Naka multi?
I am still using the Nocta Multi. I'm waiting patiently for this new Nocta machine to come out. I just like new things. The machine's still good to me, but you know how it is. You use the same machine for a while and you just want to try something new. I know it's coming out. I know they wanted it to be out already. So I'm looking forward to trying the new one. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I get really good depth. I'm the only one in our group that uses it, which I like because you know, you get a good signal. Usually we'll call other people over. Oh, how does it sound on your machine? How does it sound on yours? You know, you get a different idea of what it might be. And they all use the same machine. So, you know, if one guy with an Equinox calls another guy with an Equinox, it sounds the same.
Right.
So I like that mine's a little different. I get a different perspective. So I do like that we're not all just using the same machine because you can hear things differently and it kind of helps you figure out what might be what.
Right. And one brand might find something easier than another brand.
Absolutely.
So like you found the lock there. Now, did that lock ring up in the coin range, or because that's a big chunk of steel?
Well, it is. I mean, on most machines, I'll say, as you know, when you go over the hollow point of something, it throws a high tone up, and you can tell that it's not a coin. But you know, when you're in in the front yard of a house that goes back to 1740, and you've already pulled out reals and King Georges and farthings, at that point, you're in the mindset of, heck, if my machine makes a repeatable noise, I'm digging it. I don't care what the number is, because who knows what's going to be in the ground. So that's what I was doing. When this came up on my machine, it rang up a bad tone, but occasionally a blip. My machine said it was 3 inches down. It was probably 9 inches down. And I realized it once I cut the plug and put the pinpointer and I couldn't even hear it. I knew it was probably going to be iron way down deep. But like I said, when you're at a house that's 300 years old and you're finding amazing things at 5 inches, my mind is, holy cow, what could this be down at 9 inches? And I got rewarded by chasing it. So It might be iron. And a lot of times you don't get rewarded when you chase those deep iron signals. But once in a while you do. We got lucky and got a cannonball a few months ago with the same scenario. Just kept going down and down. It was a little flat part on the cannonball that threw up the occasional high blip and got rewarded.
Absolutely. So also the Naka you're talking about is the multi-frequency Naka, right?
Yeah. I use the new Nocta, will be the multi-frequency. I did submit to Dealic a few names that I thought would be cool. I don't know if she's going to go with them or not.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what it's called yet.
Yeah, we're waiting to see that too. And we have her scheduled to come on sometime soon, don't we, Jeff?
October 25th is when we should be able to do the big reveal on the Nocta Multi Freak.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's out by October.
Yeah, that
That's what
should be.
the last time I talked to her, she said
Is this
because
the
she wants to debut it on Treasure Talk,
Yeah.
which we appreciate. And she said after the summer, because they're not going to put one thing about Nocta, they're like Fisher. They're not going to put something out unless it's right.
No, I agree.
So, and that's a good thing. So we kind of settled on October 25th, and with the proviso that we may have to push it back a little bit, depending. But I think it's all going to be up and running and rocking and socking on October 25th. And Dilek wants to give one of them away here on Treasure Talk, so
Oh,
can't
sweet.
beat that with a big stick.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
I gotta tell
I'm
you,
hoping I get to beta test one beforehand. I mean, I'm a Nokta guy. I mean, I use all their stuff, and I talk to Dealic frequently enough. I'm hoping I get the chance to beta test it because once it comes out, I want to know. I already want to know how it works. I don't want to go out to a primo field and have to try to figure it out at that point.
Right.
everything I understand about it, it's going to be fairly easy, as is like the simplex and really, Jason, when you get to using the amphibio, it's after the first couple of times, it's fairly easy to use.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this,
it took a little bit of a learning curve. I went from a Garrett to the Amphibio, and the Amphibio, that gain runs so high, a lot of people really get turned off by the chattiness of it. So
Yeah,
you have to really use it and dial in some of the settings so that it's not just a squawk box in your ear.
right.
And that takes some practice. You got to go out and swing over some things in your backyard, set up a test garden. But then once you kind of can dial it in, it's really amazing. It gets an incredible depth. It's customizable. I really like it.
Yeah. Well, Phil, I have to tell you that all the girls on YouTube are talking about your haircut. They think you look really hot.
Look at that, Phil.
oh my goodness.
Notice they said zero about me. Phil looks hot tonight.
Yeah.
Ooh, I noticed his new haircut.
Well,
Woo!
well,
You got to show your hair, Jeff. You got to
Yeah,
woo
you
the
know what
ladies
I'm
with your
doing,
hair.
That's
just
all
so
right.
you know, my wife likes it long, ladies. So
I
it's,
haven't got my hair cut in months. I mean, it's really shaggy.
it just has been so hot here. I've had to cut it. Hey, listen, Jason, I've got a question here. I guess off of Facebook because Jocelyn just handed it to me. It's from Mark Hoover, and he said, "Explain Indian hunter." Do you know what he's talking about?
Oh yeah, I think he means on my Facebook page, the banner, the picture I have, it says Quarter Hoarder Indian Hunter, and I took a famous painting of like an early settler with like 3 Indians approaching him and photoshopped the settler out and put me in there with a metal detector.
Oh, okay.
All that is really is that picture has been up there for about 4 years now. Back 4 years ago, I had a really good Indian penny day. I think I found like 11 of them. So I was so excited. I called myself the Indian Hunter for like a week, and I just never got around to changing the Facebook picture. So, yeah, it was just one really good day I had. I felt like I was out hunting Indian pennies because I found so many of them. I probably should update it because, man, that was so long ago. Back then, I was doing videos just by myself still. It was only me. That's how long ago it was.
Well, it keeps them guessing.
All right. Well, let me keep going my list here. And I ask every guest this: have you ever found a gold coin?
No, I have not. In fact, all the guys I go with, only one of us ever found a gold coin. And even gold in general is very rare. I mean, together as a group, 4, 5, 6 of us, maybe 1 or 2 pieces of gold a year. Very rare in colonial farms. I mean, nowadays, if you did the beach, I'm sure we'd have a better shot. A lot of people have jewelry on, but back then, man, I mean, they didn't have a lot of money, these people. Once in a while, I'll get like a cuffling or a gold ring or something. And if I do, it's usually hundreds of years old.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me keep going down my list then. And Michael Boyles is asking, will you be at Florida Hunt 8?
I'm hoping so. What's funny is I heard about Florida Hunt 7 only like a week before the hunt, or I would have went. Because I had nothing to do that week. I'm hoping Florida Hunt 8, I will make it to. We're going to see how it goes with travel. And geez, my one friend was in Florida last week and couldn't even get home. They canceled his air flight over the weekend. He's still down there. So this is a crazy world we live in. I don't want to commit to anything, but hopefully I will make it because it looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Corey Williams is asking off of Facebook to ask Jason, what is the best line or statement for convincing a home owner to let him search his property?
Pretty please.
Pretty.
You gotta. It's not. Look, I went out with. I went down to Missouri about 2 years ago and hunted with my buddy Jeff. He's got a channel, Plugmaster Ford, great guy. And I went out with him, and his door knocking routine was he'd knock on the door and say, "Hey, I'm Jeff. Come metal detector yard," and that was it. Where we go out, it's literally like an hour-long conversation. We want them to be very comfortable with us. It's not like we have a line or 2 sentences. It's like a whole engaging conversation. And, Doug and Charlie, 2 of the guys in my group, they really get most of the permissions for the group. I'm usually always at home editing, and we all work normal jobs too. It's not like we have all this expendable free time. So usually they are out getting the permissions, and but I know how it works. They invest a good hour and a half talking, getting to know them, and then we'd all get out there Saturday. We go right up, talk to them again. It might be another 45 minutes. It's a lot of interaction. I don't want to just knock on their door and get permission and having them peering out the window and wonder. I want them to feel comfortable, come outside, hang out for a little bit, because I want them to find the experience enjoyable for them too. So it's not like there's like a one-liner that we use. It's really just, it's like saying, "Hey, how do you make friends, Phil?" You just gotta talk, and you gotta listen, and you gotta socialize, and that's how we do it. I'm not saying that's the only way to do it, but that's how we do it.
Okay, well, that's some good points for you guys who are out there door knocking. Don't just show up with your shirt, "Can I dig your yard?"
Yeah, and we never knock and dig the same day. We knock earlier in the week and set it up for Saturday because we usually get out one day a week, and I don't want to put to chance someone's not home, got to go to the next house, someone's not home. So we go out during the week, we line it up and say, "Hey, we're going to come back Saturday. It was 8:30, too early for you." You go, "Good." And then we all show up at the same time. We'll meet somewhere around the corner. So we all show up at once. So it's not like constant things coming in. And then we just go, where everything's already taken care of. We show up at 8:30 in the morning and just start going. And like I said, we're usually out there till dusk.
And how are you filming that? Are you doing it with a camera or with the iPhone, or what are you doing?
I use a little bit of all of it. I use 2 different iPhones. I use a GoPro, and I use another little camera. And then the way I edit all the footage, I try to make it unnoticeable, other than the GoPro, which is such a distinct look. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I only incorporate the GoPro what I do is, if it's a good signal and I want to live dig it, I'll record on the GoPro. That way I record the whole thing. And as much as people like live digs and they want to live through the experience, you got to realize how long a live dig takes. I mean, that could take 11 minutes sometimes. And I don't want to bore the people, everybody out there. I know some people would like that. The majority of people won't. It's faster pace.
Yeah.
So I live dig almost everything on my GoPro, and maybe I'll do one live dig in the video. And even that, I might chop it up and cut out some of it. So essentially it's not a live dig because I'm editing it somewhat, but I don't want to put people to sleep. It's, you have to realize that the audience isn't all just metal detecting enthusiasts. It's other people out there that just want to see old stuff, or maybe that just want to, hear me and Paul ribbon on each other. So I try to keep it moving. So I record everything live and I save all that footage. I always said maybe one day I'll do like I was going to call a second channel quarter after. And what it would be was all the clips that got cut out if people cared and wanted to see it.
Yeah.
But comes down to time, and I just never got around to it. I mean, you're talking hundreds, if not thousands of hours of footage that you got to make time to go through it all.
Right. Hey, I just got Jocelyn hand me a question off of Facebook. Have you tried the Garrett pinpointer compared to this one here, the F Pulse? Have you used that one yet?
I used the F Pulse, maybe over a year ago. It wasn't bad. I gave it away. I like the Garrett one for several reasons. Ease of use. I mean, everything is, when you pick it up, your hand is in the position to use it, which I really love. I think the Nokta one that I have is great. The sensitivity is great. I love all the adjustments, but I don't like picking it up and then all the buttons are in the butt. So then I got to use a second hand. I got to, hit these buttons and then put it back in my hand. I think the design of the Garrett one for ease of use and speed is just my favorite design. That's the one I always grab when I go out. I don't have the F Pulse one anymore, but I do own a couple of the Garrett ones. I have all the Nokta ones. I think I have the Mind Lab one that can tell between ferrous and non-ferrous, whatever that's called over there.
Yeah, the Profine 35.
Yeah. But I always grab the Garrett, and I always have a spare in the car in case, it breaks or something happens. I try to have an extra of everything, or if the homeowner wants to join us.
Yeah.
But no, I prefer the Garrett one personally.
Yeah. We've been selling quite a few of the new F Pulse because it is a Pulse, and Jeff and I don't use one on the beach, but we have a lot of customers who use a pinpointer on the beach, and it seems to work better on the salt water. So
see, I've never detected a beach in my whole life, and I only live like a half an hour from Atlantic City. Never got to the beach, and I think it's just because I really love the old stuff so much, and as cool as it would be to find a big gold ring or an expensive piece of jewelry, it's just not my thing. I'd rather find a old button than a 14 karat ring. As weird as that sounds, I like old stuff.
Well, here's the thing, Jason. It depends on when you go to the beach. You see a lot of old stuff there. A lot of old men, a lot of old women.
That's true.
So there's old stuff there.
But if I bring home an old woman and put her in my display case, I'll get arrested. So I got to be careful.
There you go. So, Jason, you said you work another job. Where do you work at?
I do IT work for a healthcare company. I've been there 28 years, Phil. So, I've been there a long, long time, and it's not very fun. And I think that's why, like, when the weekend comes around, I'm like, boom, like you shot me out of a cannon, because I'm just so bored. I don't want to say it's boring, but it's not exciting work, but it is what it is. I don't find enough wheat pennies to pay the mortgage. So
absolutely.
That's why I get so excited when we, get out there, because, I get to have some fun.
Absolutely. So, Jeff, it looks like we're running the banner.
Yes, indeed, we are, sir.
So are we doing a swag pack, or what are we doing?
We're swag packing it, and it also comes with a Dan's lanyard.
Okay.
Yes, so here's the deal. We got a swag pack, a Glorious Myers swag pack, and I think it's probably going to include one of those fabulous, much sought after, coveted towels, is it not?
Yes, it does.
I think you have one right there in the background.
I like that. Absolutely. That comes with it.
And hats and shirts and fines pouches and
and some stickers too.
Yeah, lots of stickers. So that is the giveaway for tonight. And so the drill is, once your name is called, you'll have 3 minutes. If you're on YouTube, it's a brain cramp. YouTube, you probably will text. If you're on Facebook, you can either text or Facebook Messenger, either Phil or myself. You'll see going across the screen in the bottom, there's the different numbers for you to text. And then what you'll do, and the only way we really want to accept it, is you see right up there, it says treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. You email your information and we'll get your stuff out to you. So, Jason, if you'll give us a couple minutes, we're going to do a drawing here.
I'm excited.
I am too. Okay, 4, the swag pack that includes a Dan's lanyard. And those things are nice. You stock those too, don't
Yes,
you,
I
Phil?
do. I stock them in the shop.
What is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, almost everything Phil stocks. That's the good thing about that. He stocks it all.
Yeah, we do. We try to anyway.
And
We
that's
probably
that's
stock
the point.
more than anybody in the state of Florida. I know that.
But probably more than
Wow.
anybody in the state of United States because you can go there, put your hands on it, try it out. It's fantastic. Okay, enough blathering. Al Audit, if you are in the house, you need to
Audit.
text or Facebook Messenger either Phil or myself because you want a swag pack and a Dan's lanyard. You got 3
Absolutely.
minutes, my good friend. Otherwise, we'll go on to someone else.
Absolutely. And while we're waiting for that, let's keep going down my list here. So, Jason, they're asking your oldest find.
Well, it's hard to tell. A lot of things I don't know exactly how old they are. If you mean coin, it's not as old as you'd think. I think 1697 is my oldest coin, which is not crazy old for the area. They're just hard to find. But like for instance, just last weekend the padlock was from 1630 or 40. So
Yeah.
some things it's hard to tell. It's hard to date certain things, but coin wise, 1690s for a copper, 1720s for a silver are my oldest coins. I think the one guy I go with, Charlie, got into the 1500s last year with some weird foreign silver coin. It was called I think it was called a Dalder or something like that. I just once you get into the 1600s and earlier, I'm not familiar with all the coins anymore because we don't find them enough for me to, be familiar with them.
Oh, okay. And then your oddest find. Or
My
weirdest.
oddest find would be my digging partner, Paul.
He is an odd one. He is not.
No, I'm only kidding. I love Paul. If he's watching, I'm only joking. My oddest find. Well, I don't want to get into the whole witch jar thing, but I did find that witch's spell jar, which I always say was my oddest find. I found once this really, it was a sterling spoon. It was real creepy. It had like a Medusa head on it and like these swirling like snakes. Didn't know what it was, but just thought it was super cool. I'll probably go with the witch jar because a lot of the people on YouTube know me from that video because it just did so well. And who finds a witch's spell jar filled with all sorts of like witch things? So it's probably that.
Absolutely. Jeff, did we have a winner?
We did indeed. Al Audit was there and he texted the correct way with his name, so we knew who he was. So
Al
Al,
Audit. He
it will
already
get out.
the winner.
Yeah, send me your information at treasuretalkshow@gmail.com and we will be in like a burglar through the upstairs window.
Congratulations, Al.
Yeah, cool. Hey, so Jason, have you hunted outside of the USA?
No. And I would love to. The guys and I have been talking about it. We'd love to maybe get over to England. Who doesn't want to go over there and have a shot at something that's thousands of years old? Again, it's tough right now with the state that the world's in. Flying is difficult. So it's a kind of on pause. We'd even like to go up to Canada. I've got friends up there and they have a couple of hunts every year. And, we're going to Digstock in October, and Digstock's only like a half an hour south of Canada. But same thing. With the state of the world, even getting into Canada right now might be really difficult. They're in and out of quarantine.
Right.
So at the moment, I'm just staying on U.S. soil because I don't know what's going to happen. If I did go somewhere, can I get back?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to go next month in September to England to hunt, and we just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone, and if you do know, it could change again next week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's really challenging. So day by day, hopefully your trip goes on. I'll wish you luck.
Well, I hope so. If not, I'll just have to hunt with Phil and the Mumbles Man and my buddy plays in the dirt, John David.
There you go. So, what time of year do you prefer to hunt the most?
Any time but summer. summer's tough. It's hard to get old houses every week, especially houses that are big enough to hold all of us. Sometimes we got to get a house that's not as big and we can't all go. And I like to try to get us all together. Plus, who wants to be sweating and dirty in some person's yard and neighbors are walking by and you're disgusting and filthy? So summer's my least favorite season. All the other ones I love: fall, winter, spring. Even if there's snow on the ground, we have some fields that are very sandy and we can still get down, a couple inches. The only challenge with winter is, we share the same farm fields with a lot of hunters. So you got to kind of coordinate that, you're not in their spot, and risk getting shot or just not ruining their thing they're doing.
Yeah, they're trying to deer hunt or whatnot. And
and sometimes some of them are like, they think our scent is messing things up. So you try to work with those people. Their season's very short. We go all year. There's no off season to metal detecting. You can just keep doing it. But so we try to be mindful of the other activities that are, have a limited season.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You got to be careful because you never know, with the hunting.
Well, what's good about the hunters too, Jeff, is you want to friend the hunters because they're in the woods and in farm fields all the time. You get friendly with those guys. You say, hey, when you're in the woods, you ever notice like any old foundations and they'll volunteer information. So just like knocking on the door, be friendly to everybody, treat people like you want to be treated. And it only comes back in spades.
That's right.
So same with the hunters. We're mindful, we're respectful. We try to work with them. We'll switch to Sundays because in New Jersey, you can't deer hunt on Sundays on some land. So we try to work with them because it only helps to be nice to everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, if they can put you on some old foundations, that would be a cool thing.
And they have.
Back in the woods or whatnot.
Plus, they might give you a little backstrap. You never know.
Or protect me if I get charged at by a black bear.
That's right. Then you got bear sausage. Hey.
Do you have black bears up there where you're at?
Out in Pennsylvania, we hunt in Pennsylvania a lot, and my one buddy Charlie said a black bear was on his property last week. Usually they avoid coming in to where the people are, but no, it happens. And even if not black bears, there's still foxes and some animals that you might not want to run into. It's not like it is down there. Luckily we don't have any poisonous snakes. There are maybe some bears, but they're pretty rare in New Jersey. You never know. I don't even want to run into like a big male deer during the rut. I mean, even those things will run after you. So
yeah,
I don't want any animal encounters.
Well, it looks like, Jeff, we're getting close to our time. So let me get a couple more questions in here. If you could choose any place in the USA to hunt, where would you want to hunt at?
Right where I'm at, Phil. Right where I'm at. I love that we can find anything here, from the earliest settlers up till things lost last week. I always say for this hobby and for what I like to find, I'm in the most fortunate area, the Northeast. I don't think I would trade it for anything.
Absolutely. Well, you have some old stuff there, a lot older than we are here in Tampa. I mean, there are certain areas that are older, but for the most part, it's not as old as it is up there. But your videos are very interesting, and I'm sure our members just love it if they watch it. Be sure to add your YouTube channel to our Treasure Talk page if you haven't done so already.
I'll look and see. I don't know if I did do that, but I will look.
Because I know our members could learn a lot from your videos. They're very interesting, well made.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out tomorrow. Every Tuesday I put one out.
Wow.
And they're long. I mean, you get your money's worth.
Absolutely. I didn't think it was too long. And
well, they're. It's not like I purposely try to make them long. I just that's just the way it comes out. So they're usually between 20 and 30 minutes. Some people like to fast forward, some don't. But once a week, that's what you get.
Yeah. So where does this next video take place?
Well, I don't like to give spoilers, but I will say, when you see the thumbnail, you're you're going to be shocked because we got access to detect this farm field that had a Revolutionary War soldier buried there in an enclosed little graveyard. And we were asked to look for things outside of the graveyard in the surrounding fields that we could tie into this soldier. And it was quite an adventure. So I'm hoping that'll be a fun one for people.
And did you find anything that ties to the soldier?
Well, come on. I can't
Come
tell
on.
you. I will say I got a lot of good pictures of the cemetery and of the gravestones. Very respectful. We don't go into the actual graveyard, of course, but I tried to be as respectful as I can, and try to honor the fallen. I mean, that guy died, trying to win this country. So
Absolutely.
I thought it was nice if we could find something that we could tie to him or his family, and that we do it. You got to watch and see.
Absolutely. Well, Jason, it looks like we're about our hour, aren't we, Jeff? It looks like
We are.
people are saying good night to me. So let me say this. Thank you for coming on and talking with us about your channel and all your finds up there in the Northeast. Thank you for doing that with us. Thank you, Jeff, for pulling it all together, even though we had a couple little hiccups. It came out really good.
Yeah, good job, Jeff.
Absolutely, for pulling it out of the I don't know where it was at, somewhere on the internet. And thank you, Josh, for handing me the questions. And folks, thank you for being on here with us for the hour for Treasure Talk. And I'll let you take it away, Jeff.
All righty. Well, I want to thank you, Jason. It's always very informative and a lot of fun when you're here. We'll have to get you back soon. Just reminding everybody, we got a new segment coming up in a couple of weeks called Treasure Tales, where we want to get some of y'all involved. To come on for a few minutes and tell us about a great find that you had. I think it'll be fun, and we're going to give it a try. If we get some people to come on, it'll be good. If we don't, why, it's not because we didn't try. But I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We had some dilemmas. Facebook does what Facebook does, and they interrupt your permissions and never. But we had a great show tonight. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Next week, the legend Terry Shannon is going to be in the house.
Awesome.
And look on the page and look on YouTube for the giveaways. We're giving away Terry's new book, which fills stocks in the shop. So with that being said, Jason, thanks, man. I'm looking forward to the video.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you guys.
All the girls liked your haircut, so
Happy hunting.
And the boys like this haircut.
Most of the girls were going, "Oh my goodness, Garu's got a nice do." Anyway, we're out of here.
You embarrass me, Jeff. All right, my friend. We'll see you guys later. Dig deeper. We'll see you. Thank you.
Later.
Bye.